Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today we are talking about this one, Gesualdo's Madrigals, Volume 5, Book 5, actually, with the Hilliard Ensemble, which was run by Paul Hilliard. Is he still around here, or is he just conducting? I don't know. It's the Hilliard Ensemble, and they're all singing. He's not mentioned, except that Gordon Jones is the guy who did the notes here. And let's see, is he singing here? Yes, he's the baritone. So there we go. These are 5-voice madrigals. And whoa, baby, are they nuts. Oh, my goodness. If you don't know who Gesualdo was, he wrote unbelievably advanced sounding Italian Renaissance vocal music, madrigals and sacred works. And he was also known because he murdered his first wife and her lover. He caught them in flagrante delicto, as they say, doing the deed. And he went in and murdered them, actually more than once. He went back and made sure they were dead and stabbed them a few times again, just to make sure. He was acquitted of that, actually, but he married again after that. His second wife said that he abused her and he couldn't stand her, and he probably had a fairly dim view of women by that point in his life. He was depressive. He apparently employed a servant to flagellate him regularly for his sins, real and imagined, and died quite depressed. His 2 sons predeceased him, which was also very sad. I mean, his life was rather miserable. His only outlet was music. Weird, wild, crazy music. And the 5th and 6th book of madrigals really sort of sell the deal. The 5th book was published in 1611. It's a great year for madrigals. I know, I'm just kidding. But it's got 21 songs. To do them all lasts a little less than an hour. They're not long, but they're intense. Intense, little, crazy, insane nuggets of emotional turmoil. I mean, the texts were mostly written by Gesualdo himself, and they're all about agony and suffering and death and ecstasy and happiness, extremes of happiness and despair, often within the same line. For example, let's take a couple examples here, shall we? I can't play them for you for copyright reasons, but I can certainly tell you about them, and you go listen to them. Just Number 11, Merce grido piangendo. That's mercy, I'm screaming and I'm weeping. Well, I mean, that kind of just says it all, doesn't it? And so, they all come in singing, mercy, and then when the word scream comes in, oh dear, that's what we get with really crunching dissonances. Oh gosh, it's marvelous. His style in these pieces, largely it was called a mannered style, one that was very, very stylistically extreme and affected in a good way, actually. Usually we call mannerisms, and people who are mannered, we don't like them. Gesualdo we like. We like his version of mannered because it's musically intense and extremely appropriate to the texts that he set. But in this particular case, what you get is these sort of agglomerations of dissonant harmonies, chromatic harmonies, as it's sometimes called in the music biz, followed by purely diatonic or melodic quick answers, responses, and then it goes around a few times and does that. So there's this constant alternation between music of really, really painful expressivity and then more easeful or more relaxed modes, and it's incredibly powerful. It is. So mercy, I'm screaming and crying is one of them. One of these other ones, oh yes, O dolorosa gioia. See, this is one of those things he does all the time. Oh sad joy. Well, it's an oxymoron, obviously, right? Sad joy, or cold heat, or whatever those things are. But it's one of those things where he's trying to convey opposite things simultaneously, or contradictory, or impossible, or conflicting concepts within the same bar, and so you get these very, very powerful harmonies. Another wonderful one here is, oh, let's see, what's it called here? Oh, you've killed me, oh cruel one. Yeah, that's pretty rough. As you might expect, it begins with "You killed me." Just listen to the opening bar, how the killing is happening, and of course he would know because he did it. So it's an extraordinary example of late Renaissance expressionism, I would say, or "O tenebroso giorno," "O dark day." Well, yeah, okay, it speaks for itself, right? Anyway, the performances are terrific. I mean, let's talk about who the singers are here, because they really are amazing with their, in terms of intonation particularly. I mean, this music is extremely difficult to perform because of the way that the harmonies are never going where you expect them to. And so we've got Monica Mauch, soprano, David James, countertenor, David Gould, countertenor, Rogers Covey-Crump, he's in everything, tenor, and Stephen Harold, tenor, and Gordon Jones, baritone. And goodness gracious, it's on ECM, and it's marvelous. There are many very, very fine recordings now of the complete Gesualdo Madrigals. He wrote 6 books of them, or 6. And from the late 1500s to about 1611, about the year of these things, a little bit later. And they're really, really fine. But you would be completely justified in not wanting to get all 6 books of madrigals, or that and all the sacred music, the tenebrae responsories, particularly for Holy Week, which are deliciously gloomy and painful. But you got to take it one step at a time, because quite frankly, and I mean this in all honesty, I love Gesualdo. I really do. And he's fascinated all kinds of composers since his rediscovery, in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Robert Kraft was one of the great proponents of Gesualdo, and that's the reason Stravinsky wrote his monumentum pro Gesualdo, Prince of Venice, or whatever it was, or Venosa, wherever he was. But, lots of modern composers were inspired by him. A lot of rock composers were inspired by him. He was really a fascinating solitary voice. And if you don't want to hear like tons and tons and tons of it, just get this: the 5th book of Madrigals, one book that shows him at his most poignant, stupendously performed with immaculate intonation and balance of voices and diction and all of those things, will really do you proud for your record collection and your knowledge of this period and of this composer. And if you like what you hear, you can always get more. I mean, there's nothing stopping you. But you got to start. You got to start somewhere. And I would say that no serious collection is complete without at least one disc of Gesualdo, and this is as good as any you'll ever get. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.